History in Havana, but the hope for a compromise is proving hard to come by. For the first time in more than 3 decades, the U.S. and Cuba are holding high-level talks. CCTV's Michael Voss is in Havana with what we know so far.
Well, today, Wednesday, has all been about migration talks. It's the highest level U.S. negotiating team that's come to Cuba in 38 years. The principal reason is to try and re-establish diplomatic relations and reopen embassies after all this time. But Wednesday focused on migration. The Cubans, I think both sides, are optimistic about the outcome of these talks, with Cuban officials talking about open and frank discussions.
Well, the two delegations has been talking on a very respectful way. We have been analyzing or exchanging about the migration trends between our two countries. I think that we have many points of coincidence, in the way we are dealing.
But these migration talks also show just how far apart the two sides are and how many major contentious issues remain. On migration, the Cubans have long complained about a law known as wet foot, dry foot, where any Cuban who's caught going to Cuba in a makeshift boat, if they're caught in a boat, they're sent home. If they arrive on the United States, they're fast-tracked into U.S. citizenship. The Cubans complain that this encourages people to risk their lives in makeshift boats, and it encourages illegal migration. And yet the American delegation said after these talks that the U.S. remained committed to keeping this law. It shows when the talks start on Thursday about the difficult issue of re-establishing diplomatic relations after more than half a century, that there is still a long way to go and there's going to be a lot of differences to sort out. Nobody's expecting the final deal to be sorted out this week. There's going to have to be more talks on the various issues. But as the Cubans have said this week, this is not about normalization of relations. It's about re-establishing diplomatic relations where you can talk. Normalization is going to take a lot longer. Michael Voss, CCTV, Havana.